Hey guys, it's me again. Second video we're doing. We're looking at equations of circles. In case you forgot, make sure this is the second video you watch. All right, you should watch the other video first. We're just going to jump right into it because we've had enough of my weird talk. Equations of a circle, right? So make sure you have your notes from that other section where the equation of the circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where that's the center and r is the radius. Slide that down for you guys to see. Now what we're going to try is I'm going to give you an equation, and I want you to see if you can tell me what the radius is going to be here. All right, so our equation is going to be x plus 6 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals, what was I? Look up, check my notes, equals 9. So, again, we need to figure out what the center is going to be and what the radius is going to be. To calculate our center, first we look at our values here. Remember, the center is a coordinate, so we should be pulling two pieces. So when we're looking at 6, remember, it becomes the opposite, so our center is going to be at -6. For the x coordinate, remember the first one is x. And for our y coordinate, we use what's grouped with the y. Now it's not going to be -7, because remember it is opposite, so it is +7. These values are opposite, just like when we went from center to the equation. Now to find r, right, remember 9 is equal to r squared, right? R squared is 9. So to figure out what r is going to be, we take the square root of both sides, and we're going to get the positive value of 3. Center given, radius given. All we got to do. Let's check out another example. For this one, I'm going to write out the equation. I want you to tell me what the center and the radius are going to be. Now I want you to pause the video after the equation's done and try it yourselves. So we have x minus 2 squared plus y squared equals 25. All right. So let's write out our center and our radius. So I want you to pause the video and give it a shot for me. So remember, to find the center, right, we look at what's grouped with our x and what's grouped with our y. What's grouped with our x is a -2. So that means the x portion of our coordinate is going to be +2. Now, you'll notice there appears there's nothing grouped with y, right? There's nothing being added or subtracted to y. That's okay. Since nothing is being added or subtracted, just like in the last video, it's going to be 0. Right? There's nothing with there, so we just have that big old 0. To find our r, right, r squared is equal to 25. We just take the square root. The square root of 25 is 5. So we have our center and we have our radius. Cool. So that's how we work with going from equation to finding the center, or finding the center and radius. Next, what we're going to look at is writing equations for circles when we're given something a little bit different. So let's say we have a circle whose center is, let's say, 3, -2. And we don't know the radius. And it also, so we have a center of 3, -2, and another, or a point on the circle is going to be 3, 0. So instead of being given a center and a radius, we're given a center and another point on the circle. So the way that I like to try and do these is I'm actually going to plot these 2 points into Desmos. All right, so we can kind of get an idea of what we're going to be working with. So if you've never worked with Desmos, all you have to do is just go to desmos.com. And it's going to be the first one. And I'm going to hit leave because I'm on one already. And you need to hit start graphing. So first I'm going to plot our center. Our center is 3, -2. Notice here's our coordinate, right? And I can label this, I'm going to label this C for center. Or you can even just type in center if you would like. The second coordinate we're going to have is our other coordinate, 3, 0. This we can label as point on the circle. So what we need to imagine is here's our center, we need to imagine a circle going around this here, right? So we know our center already. Remember, the only other thing we need to find is the radius, right? And that's really easy if we have nice looking points here. Notice I can actually count my radius, right? My radius is from the center to a point on the circle. That's the definition of a radius. So I'm going to count, notice it goes from -2, so I'm going to go up 1, 2. So my radius, the connection between these 2 points, is going to be 2. And again, the way I got that is I just counted along my line. Notice I'm starting at -2. So each, depending upon how zoomed in you are, right? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Notice I go up 1, up 2. So I have a radius of 2. Once you have this information, then it's really easy for us to write out the equation. Our equation, just like we did in the first video, x minus blank squared plus y minus blank squared equals blank squared. Our center, right? Opposite of 3 is -3. Opposite of -2 is +2. And then now we know our radius, right, is r squared. Not my straightest line, but we got there. So we can just leave this as x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 4. So again, all we have to do is you just need to know the center and the radius. If you can find the center and the radius very, very easily, right? Normally they'll give us the center. The only thing we might have to find is the radius, and that's just counting. Then we can write out our equation. Just to verify that we're correct here, I'm going to type this equation into Desmos. Right? If you're ever unsure, you can go to Desmos and actually write in these equations. See if it matches up with the information you've given. Right? So we have the quantity x minus 3. And for those of you who don't remember how to do squared, if you select the little show keyboard down here, squared plus y plus 2, again squared right here, equals 4. Notice, center of my circle, point on the circle. Great way to check. It's really helpful. Anytime they give you an equation, plug it into Desmos. See if your answer is right. Double check it. It's a really, really helpful tool. Well, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Make sure you watch these videos before you come to your class meet. That way you can come with questions, and that way your teacher can jump right into the meat of the topic. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you're staying active, eating healthy, get some time outside, read a little bit. Enjoy it. You guys work hard, so take this time to break. All right? Enjoy the rest of the week, guys. Rock on. I'll see you next week, all right?